I'm on. Oh, yeah.
700 miles to come do it, son.
Stud in the bucket.
655.9.
You're listening to the PointClickFish podcast. We bring you the best in fishing entertainment with interviews, how-tos, stories, food, fishing reports from the captains, teams, and celebrities that are all in the industry. And now, here's your host, Captain Jay Feemster and the PointClickFish team.
Hey guys, we're back. Welcome to the PointClickFish Fishing Podcast radio show. Price, we've got another great show planned today.
We sure do, man. I'm enjoying doing the podcast. The last couple of weeks, we've had some great guests. You know, we kicked things off with our new found friend, Uncle Cracker, the recording artist, and had a great podcast with him. And then we had a great Goliath grouper show with Jesse McDonald from Florida Extreme and Shores. And so, check those podcasts out. They're on our website and social media. So I hope you'll go, listen to those shows.
Yeah, a lot of great things going on here. And today we're excited to welcome professional bass angler, FLW Pro, and our friend, Billy McDonald, to the show. Billy, welcome, buddy.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
We're doing fantastic. And obviously right before the show, we were catching up and talking with Billy. And one thing we want to talk about, Billy, is a little bit about you. Tell us, a little bit where you're from and a little bit about your history.
I'm an Indiana guy. Like I said, we're here in the Midwest, and, I always make a joke. I tell people, I said, we're from Indiana, and I said, we don't have the fisheries that everybody else has. We have about 6 or 7 fish here in Indiana. We all take turns catching. So it's kind of a tough fishery here in Indiana. And so it's kind of exciting to get out and travel. But no, I grew up fishing farm ponds and then fished the Ohio River and then just our local reservoirs and just started at the grassroots and worked my way up.
Well, one of the things, obviously, as we're all aware, is the COVID-19 and the pandemic. But, a lot of that with everyone staying home and quarantine and 6 feet away and all of that. What has that done for you to be able to, what have you done to stay busy? And what does it allow you time to do to prepare for the trail itself?
Well, I've wore the carpet out in the house, walking around a full circle, so that's a bad thing. But no, it's, I'm a guy that when I come home from a tournament, I usually empty my boat anyway, go through everything and reload and get ready for the next event. So this has given me some extra time to kind of organize, go through things. And, I've had a clearing out deal. My wife's wanting all the closets cleaned out. So we've cleaned out a bunch of old clothing and whatnot. And I've done the same with some of the tackle that I've had and been able to rearrange and, try to get right. The bad part of it is mentally you can be right, but physically you need to stay in touch with the fish and what's going on. And luckily, like I said, here in Indiana, we haven't shut our lakes down. So I've still been fishing 2 or 3 days every week and kind of staying in touch with what's going on. So I'm ready to go back to work, though. This is killing me.
It is. I know a lot of us are looking forward to hitting the road again and hitting the water, in the tournament trail. But what would you say is your favorite part of fishing the trail, the FLW trail? What's something that you have always enjoyed? Obviously, you've done it for a while now, and what's something that you look forward to?
I still love the competition side of it. I've been doing this for over 30 years now. And, the camaraderie with the guys is always good. And, we're all friends on the bank and really we're all friends on the water too. But just, that when it's time to go, you still get that adrenaline rush in the mornings and going out and competing against those little green fish. And, it's not me against whoever I'm fishing against out there. It's me against those fish. And as long as I do my job and figure them out, I catch what I catch and the scales will sort the rest of it out later at the end of the day.
So obviously you said you've done it for 30 years, so you've fished a lot of different places. If you could pick one place to fish, where would it be and why?
That's a tough question. I love flipping, without a doubt. But if I'm going to pick one place just to go fish, I'm either going to be on Erie or St. Clair, one of those great lakes up north. They're just phenomenal fisheries that you can go and, catch numbers and numbers of smallmouth every day, and that's a fun fish to catch. So if I got my choice, yeah, I'm going north.
Yeah, I tell you,
in the summertime.
You mean so you don't have to bundle up and stay warm and?
I'm not cutting holes to go fishing. No, that's out.
Well, like I said, Billy's our friend, and we have had the opportunity to attend a Niagara media event every year. So I've had the opportunity to fish with Billy in the Niagara region in Erie, and it's an absolute blast to fish with you on the boat. But it is a special fish ramp there, but it is a little chilly the first part of May every year that we end up going up there.
I'm all right with being a little chilly, but, and every once in a while we do see a few of them white hard chunks floating down the river. But, Jay, we've been there on Erie when we've got to go around icebergs to get out of the bay, get out on the lake, and the north side of the lake still be froze, but the fishing is just absolutely phenomenal, though.
Well, that's one thing that blew me away is, like you said, we're driving by and there's ice chunks floating down, but the fishing is amazing then. Even with ice chunks floating down the river, the fishing's still amazing.
Yeah, a few years ago, I remember being out there on Erie, and we actually, I don't know, the water was, mid just to a little bit, maybe high 30s. And the smallmouth we were catching had mud on their bellies. They were laying in the mud, trying to stay warm too. So, but they still eat. So that's the part I like about it. You can catch them.
They do. Now, what is there a fish, Billy, for you that is a bucket list fish that you haven't caught yet? What is there a fish out there?
I've done a little bit of saltwater fishing, not a lot. I have caught the Goliath. I've been able to do that. I've done not the marlin, but the tuna fishing. I've been offshore on the oil rigs and done that. I'd like to catch a billfish or a sailfish and a tarpon. I guess those would be some bucket list fish for me that, that are realistic bucket list. I guess I could say halfway affordable.
Yeah, I tell you, those Goliath groupers they've got some strength, don't they?
They'll hurt you. The thing though, they'll hurt you for 5 or 10 minutes and then they're done. The one that amazed me is the tuna. 45 minutes later, once you finally do get that tuna up and it comes to the boat, I don't think it's got any less energy then than it did when you first hooked it. They know no quit at all in a tuna.
Now, you were on the show with Mark Davis and Bigwater Adventures with the Mexican Gulf Fishing Company, weren't you?
Yeah, we were catching yellowfins. We was about 100 miles offshore out there, catching them off the rigs out there.
That's a good workout.
It's a workout. That's a good way to put it. To let you know what your lower back is really made for.
or if you need to go see a massage therapist or a chiropractor afterwards as well, right?
Exactly.
Well, Billy, obviously, with you traveling so much and you're on the water, that's something that we wanted to talk to you about today is you're a Lucas Oil Marine Pro with Lucas Oil products. And so you use those products to, increase performance, protect, and maintain your boats, your trucks. I mean, you name it. We want to talk a little bit about those products and how you use them on the road. But first, before we get into some of those products, we want to clear up that big myth that we hear all the time is about if I use Lucas Oil, will it void warranty in my outboard engine? That's probably one of the most common questions that you see. Let's talk a little bit about the facts and the misleading information that people may not be aware of.
Yeah, I mean, all the manufacturers would like for you to use their oil in their boats. Every manufacturer, and I don't care if it's Mercury, it's Evinrude, it's Yamaha, it's Suzuki, Honda, whoever it is, all of those manufacturers do a phenomenal job making an engine. They make the very best engines that's out there available for us to do our jobs. What they don't do is make oil. So they're buying oil from a second or third hand party and private labeling. That's all they're doing. Lucas Oil, we manufacture our oil. And the myth is, if a manufacturer tells you they have to use, you can only use their oil only exclusively, then they have to give you that oil for free, basically. There's a law called the Magnuson-Moss Act, and that's a federal law that states that as long as a manufacturer makes a product that is equal or greater than what the manufacturer is using, it's okay to use in your product. And even if you get the warranty labels, don't listen to the salesman. Pull out your motor manufacturer's book, and in there it will say, usually the verbiage is, it is recommended that you use theirs, or it is preferred that you use, theirs. I run an Evinrude right now. So on the Evinrude, the manufacturer's book says it is preferred that you use it for something that is equal or greater to. Everything that Lucas makes for oil for engines exceeds all manufacturers' requirements. Everything. TCW3 rated. It's got the NMMA certification. So it's golden there. There's no problem with it.
Well, I think one of the biggest things that you see is the lack of information and knowledge that a lot of people have on the subject. And obviously, with you and our team working with Lucas Oil, that's something that we've try to educate people on. But I think that's always great for them to kind of educate themselves and find out what the best product for them is. But they need to make an informed decision on what they're actually getting and what the product is. And that's something that, is so important with Lucas Oil, is people to understand the product and what it starts out as and what ends up in your actual engine.
Sure. Well, the thing is, Lucas is made from a virgin stock. Okay, and then from there we build on. We have an ashless, and this I'm talking on the two-stroke oil right now, and we have an ashless additive that's added to it. We have our Lucas patented additive that's added to it that nobody else can have, and all that stuff there makes a better oil than what the others have, and a lot of them are using reclaimed oil. That's what it is. So, like I said, we start with a virgin stock. We don't start with a reclaimed oil stock. So, right off the bat, it's better for it. And, the easiest way to tell, as I tell people, is, you walk around to the back of somebody's boat and you look at the inside of their prop and you run your finger around the inside of the prop where the exhaust comes out. Usually you got a black, sooty finger mark there when you rub your finger on there. And that's how unclean that engine is burning. With the Lucas, you do that, and all of a sudden it's like you go back here and your prop stays pretty silver on the inside, and you're like, daggone, it's burning that much cleaner. And some of the older two-strokes, like I said, I used to say they're like mosquito patrol. When you'd fire them up, you'd see a cloud of smoke or big puff when they start them. Well, like I said, we got that smokeless added formula in there, and that goes away. We got a ring-free additive product in there that's better for that, And, there's an ashless detergent inhibitor in there. So all those things just make for a better product that's better for your engine. I mean, you're investing, just right now, I think an average 250 is around, just throwing a ballpark, $21,000, $22,000. You spent the money to buy the best engine you could buy. Why not put the best product you can inside of that engine to protect it and keep it running? That's my philosophy.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's a large investment that people are making, and they want to make sure to protect that investment to make sure it's going to last and that you're, putting the right stuff in it. And that's something that's very important. Billy, talk to us about, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, while we're on that, let's talk about ethanol treatment a little bit.
Absolutely.
Especially during this time here, we're stuck at home. We're, for the most part, we're not using our engines as much as we were. If you're going through a tank of fuel every day, it's one thing. But now that we're not doing that, use the ethanol treatment. And a guy will go, well, yeah, I put it in. I'll stop. When I get home, I'll put a bottle in. But that doesn't do anything. I mean, it'll help a little bit of the fuel in your tank. But what you want to do is put that in prior to, run it so it's through your whole fuel system. It's protecting your hoses. It's protecting, those reeds in there. It's protecting everything in there. It's your tank, your hoses, your engine, the whole deal. And here's another little myth. you know, we're scared to death that they're going to make ethanol 15%. Our outboard engines are not made really to run on any ethanol fuel at all. 10% is bad. But when you go to the gas pump and you look at that label, it says a minimum of 10% ethanol. So right now we're running 15 to 17% ethanol as we speak right now. Now, when they bump that up to where it'll say a minimum of 15%, then it's going to be even at a greater deal there. And just my bass boat holds, 52, 53 gallons is what that holds. Well, if you put that in perspective, you pull up, I put 50 gallons of gas in. Think about holding a 5-gallon bucket right there and full of water and putting that in your tank, because that's basically what you just put in ethanol. It's 5 gallons in your boat at one time. But 10% don't sound like much till you look at it when you pour it out on the ground. Take a 5-gallon bucket of water and dump it out and look how much you just put in there. So we make Safeguard ethanol treatment, which will help to combat the ethanol, and it'll also like to burn a little hotter to get rid of that out of your engine, but re-lubricate your fuel system as well. So just don't cut corners. That's the best thing I can say. Go ahead and get it, put it in there, take care of that engine.
Now, and one of the things too about the ethanol fuel conditioner as well, a lot of people, it's obviously in 16 ounces and 5.25 ounce and 2 ounce. So one of the things with that is people concerned about over-treatment. That's something that we see a lot too. And tell us a little bit about if they don't have the exact measurements, is it just going to throw it off, or what happens if you over-treat?
Don't panic. Like I said, it's 1 ounce per 5 gallons. Basically, that's it. A 2.5 ounce bottle treats 25 gallons of gas. So, when I fill up, I'll dump 2 bottles in my tank. And now, say I go out and I run 15 gallons or 20 gallons out of my boat, and I want to fill back up, I dump another full bottle in. It's not really going to hurt it that much. I mean, you don't want to put 5.25 ounces. You don't want to put that in a 5-gallon bucket, or a 5-gallon gas can. But if you put 2.5 ounces in a 5-gallon gas can, it's not going to throw things into kilter.
Yeah, and like we like to inform people just to make sure that they're aware of if they overtreat a little bit, it's not that big a deal, and it's not going to hurt it. So that's something that is important to point out. But like you said, you don't want to put so much in it that you have more than that than gas.
Sure. And here's the thing, we all think about it for our boats, but the lawnmower that sets, the weed eater that sets, the chainsaw that sets, all those things, can use that. It's no problem to run that through your fuel system, and it's really going to make it a whole lot better for the longevity of surviving that engine.
One thing that we do here is during hurricane season, we get our generators ready. Living on the coast of North Carolina, and that's something that we do at our house in the office, is to make sure that we add it to the generators when we are getting them ready during the season. So that's something we want to make sure that it's not eating at those lines as well as it's sitting there. Hopefully it won't be used for a hurricane, but in our case, we tend to use it quite a bit.
Well, and if you need it, you want it. You want to make sure it starts.
You want it to work.
It's cheap insurance. That's the best way to put it.
Now, what other Lucas products do you find yourself using on the road, on the water? Obviously there's the fishing reel oil. That's something that I use a lot myself.
Yep, the fishing reel oil, without a doubt. And it's fantastic for your reels, to say the least. Excuse me there. But it works on a lot of different parts of your boat too. Anything that needs oil, a fishing reel oil will help. And our reel oil actually has a double Lucas additive into it. A lot of the reel oils you put on your finger, and you just put a drop on there and you start rubbing your finger. After 15, 20 seconds, your finger's dry again. And it got me to thinking, well, if it's drying up that quick on me, what's it doing, in the reel? Where if you take a drop of the Lucas reel oil, put it on your finger, you can rub it and rub it and rub it. You can rub it for the rest of the day, and your skin's still there because it's lubricated. It's not going away.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, like I said, there. A little bit of lithium grease. I keep a tube of lithium grease with me all the time. Different parts on the boat that you need to. And we come out with a brand new product that I'm really excited about. We've always had tacky red grease, and which was good. I mean, it's a fantastic grease that we have. But now we have it in an aerosol. So we got the tacky red grease in an aerosol, and then we got the Toolbox Buddy in an aerosol. So those two cans right there, if you got something you need grease, just say some jack plates, hydraulic jack plates, you want to slide the rails or grease the rails on them. You can put this right on them, and you're good to go right there. Your trolling motors, the hinge points, whatnot there, the latching points. Same deal. You can put a little squirt of that tacky grease on there, make things really good. And then Slickness. Never leave home without your Slickness product. Everything's got to look good.
We use a lot of Slickness from the boats to our trailers to cars, you name it. We end up using even in the shower. You can use the Lucas Slickness in the shower if you need to.
Oh yeah, shower doors are a big deal. If you got glass shower doors, you can Slickness those down. Get all the hard water spots off first and spray that thing down. Don't get it on the floor. The floor will be slippery. But it's good for that. The front of your truck, I spray the ton of it on the front of my truck just to keep the bugs. Not that the bugs ain't going to get on the front of your truck, but they don't stick near as bad.
It helps them. It helps them slide off a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, and you can do your windshields as well. Spray it on your windshield. Once you got your truck good and clean, take a towel, wipe it all down, then go get another towel, clean towel, wipe it down again, and it's similar to, like a Rain-X type product. That water will beat up, and it'll just continue to run off of your windshields, and you ain't got to worry about anything.
So my kids, you'll appreciate this, Billy. My kids they told me that Lucas Oil needs to make a slick mist air freshener. They love the way it smells.
There you go.
They do. They really do. They said, Dad, we love the way that smells. So there we go. Lucas Oil needs a slick mist air freshener.
And another thing that we've done, we have partnered with Lew's Reels, and Lucas has actually made a total line that's exclusive for Lew's, but that's their oil, their proprietaries and their oil with us manufacturing it for them. But we have real oil for bait casters. We have real oil for spinning reels, which is a different velocity of oil. We have a bait caster grease, a real oil grease. We have a line conditioner from Lucas, and we have a total cleaner too. If you want to strip your reel completely and spray it down and clean the grease and the oil completely out and start all over. But we have a complete line of that's complete real care kit. So we keep coming up with new stuff. It's all good.
Literally everything I've used from Lucas Oil has been fantastic. And the biggest question that we get are the questions we're answering today with you, because a lot of people ask those questions. And I think, somebody with a wealth of knowledge like yourself to be able to educate people so they can make those informed decisions to get the right products that they need for their boats or their vehicles or lawnmowers or generators.
Well, I've sat with Forrest Lucas and talked to him extensively on a lot of different topics. And one thing I asked him one day, I said, Forrest, do you make a product just to compete with somebody? Just like our Toolbox Buddy is a similar product to WD-40. He said, my philosophy is if I can't make it better than somebody else's, you'll never see a Lucas name on it on a shelf. So everything he does, he finds a way to make it better. And like I said, we have our additives that's in every product that we make that nobody else has. So I applaud him on what he does and how he does it. So.
Yeah, and even during the pandemic itself, Lucas obviously did some hand sanitizer as well to help protect families and employees and customers, in the Lucas family as well. So that's something that they've done during it as well. And also, the Feed the Children campaign as well, to help, ensure kids are fed, during this pandemic as well.
He's got a heart of gold. And like I said, he don't mind giving back. And that's the key. And like I said, we do got the sanitizer now. And that's gone unbelievable. We shut lines down. We're scheduling more tanker loads of alcohol in there so we can make more of it. It's not for human consumption. Let's make this perfectly clear. It's 80% alcohol, but it's not for human consumption. It's to clean yourself with and to cleanse things.
Yeah, well, we must add a disclaimer here. Please do not ingest the hand sanitizer. So we got the public service announcement out there. So although we do have to say that these days, that's something that we got to make sure that people understand. It's not for consumption. It's for your safety. But, one of the questions too is everybody always will ask, where do I buy it? That's something that, everybody wants to know where they can get it because not everywhere has it sometimes. So what's the best way for people to find it?
Well, you can always go to lucasoil.com and you can find it there. But, just like on our marine oil, okay? Academy of Sports, I know, is one that carries it. There's a lot of other places that carry it too. One of the newest things that we came up with is O'Reilly Auto Parts and Napa Auto Parts as well. But I know O'Reilly has it. And, well, let me rephrase that. O'Reilly's all had the opportunity to have it. It's all in their district or in their warehouses. So particular stores, all they've got to do is if they call or go into your local O'Reilly's, and tell them, hey, I would really like to be able to get some marine oil. All they have to do is go from there, and they just place the order, and within a week it should be in your local stores, and then from there it'll be there all the time. So that would be a big, big bonus right there. Yeah, and there's O'Reilly's everywhere.
There is. There's definitely O'Reilly's everywhere. Another thing, too, if you go to lucasoil.com and the top right-hand corner of the menu bar, there's a Find a Retailer store as well. Put your zip code in, and it'll show you all those places, and some of the places you might not be aware that have it. There's quite a few places around where we are in Morehead City that carry it that some people just may not be aware of.
Sure. And the other thing, too, some people are like, well, I don't know. Some people want the MSDS sheets on everything that's out there anymore for safety precaution, and we understand that. And if you go to products and you scroll down and pick that particular product on that line, there's a bar on there that you can pull up. You can actually pull up the MSDS sheet that's on all of our Lucas products as well, for a safety factor.
Well, I tell you, it's an excellent product, and like I said, education is key, particularly with this, so people know and understand, what they need and what they're getting. And that's something that I think is a big piece and a big takeaway from today's show is to be able to educate yourself on what it is that you're getting to find the perfect solution for the problem that you may have or prevent a problem that may pop up.
Exactly. The thing I like I said, their logo is made in the U.S. and sold to the world. So, like I said, everything is made right here in a good U.S. of A. Every bit of it. And like I said, we do ship it worldwide. And, we make a lot of one-off products. People would be blown away if they knew some of the stuff that we make. And they'd be like, wow, I had no idea. So when there's companies that have real problems with something breaking down on a constant, basis, they've contacted Lucas and said, hey, can you help us with this? Just like the diamond mines, I think, in Africa, we make the greases for all those generators and everything that runs 24/7 over there that can't shut down. The same thing on oil rigs in Texas. We make exclusive stuff. It's not stuff that we sell to the public, but it's things that they have to maintain and to keep the world going as we know it.
And obviously, if they're using it, it may be something that you may consider using yourself if they're putting in those harsh environments and running them 24/7. That has a lot to say for the product itself.
Sure. Well, like the Lucas is known for racing. There's no doubt about it. When they started out, everything was racing. And even all of our marine products. I was fortunate enough when I came to Lucas, I helped them to work with the marine line and to try to get some things going and get things started in the marine industry. And all that went through the racing part first. If we could make a two-stroke oil that we can put in a race engine that holds up, then what we do, as public consumers, we don't have to worry about it. And same thing, if we can do the four-stroke oils, they've got top fuel boats that'll run, I don't know what it is, 1,000 feet, I think it is, that they're running, 4 seconds or something like that, just like a top fuel dragster, that if our oils protect those engines, it's going to be good for our common use as well. So everything's usually put through a racing application first, at a high test, a high speed, a high temperature, endurance type deal. And what's the duration? How's it going to hold up? What's the longevity? And then before it's ever put out, directly for consumer use. So they do the researching, they do their testing, and besides that, they're good people.
Well, I tell you, that's awesome. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today and educate us on it. And it's always good to catch up with our friend Billy McDonald. But what's next for you?
Well, I'm hoping to go back to work here about the second week of June. Our next tournament for FLW right now tentatively is scheduled, I think, starts June the 11th, I think, at Cherokee Lake in Tennessee. So prior to that, I'll be doing some guiding here at home and just fishing at home and cutting the grass and rearranging my garage again and again and again and whatever the wife says she wants me to do. Because bad part, we stay so daggone busy, I could always tell her, I don't have time to do that right now. Well, with this shutdown, I can't use that excuse anymore. So she's got me busy now, so that's good too.
I've rebuilt decks and done a list of things since this whole thing happened. So, but I have been able to go fishing with my boys, so that's been a really good opportunity to spend a lot of time with my boys. So that's been good.
Heck yeah, no, you can't beat that. Like I said, it has been good that we've been able, like that. Me and her, last week or a week ago, we had our 40th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
So that was good. We'd planned on having kind of a big to-do about it, but we said, well, we can't do nothing. There's pandemic's going on, so we didn't think anything was going to happen. So me and her sitting here at home, and my son calls, and he says, you need to come outside on the front porch. And about 40 of our friends come driving through our court, honking horns and streamers and poppers going off. And just, that was kind of a big surprise and a big to-do. But so that was kind of cool. But like I said, other than that, it's kind of been low-key for us.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you guys really appreciated that. That was a great surprise for you guys. But congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate that.
But Billy, we greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to catching up with you here again soon. And would love to have you back on the podcast to talk a little bit more about the things you have going on, and maybe even get some more technical talk on some fishing related topics as well.
Sure, and guys, don't forget that we do have a marine grease for your wheel bearings, and we got a hub oil. If you got an oil bath hub, we've got hub oil. So we've got everything complete. And, we've got a power steering fluid that's C-Star rated that will, surpass the C-Star requirements for the fluid steering on the boat. So it's a complete line. Lower unit, the whole deal.
And a lot of things, too, is make sure you take time to look at the website to find out a lot of those products that you may not even know are there. Lucas Oil makes a little bit of everything, literally. I mean, whether it's on the car side or the marine side, and a lot of dual application stuff as well. Like you were saying, between the fish and reel oil and Slick Mist. I mean, there's so many different, ways that you can use this product. A lot of it is multi-purpose, and we found out quickly with a lot of our Lucas Oil products that a lot of it works well in many different applications.
Yeah. Well, we're home right now, so just think about this. Buy you a bottle of reel oil, and you can take care of your reels. All them little squeaky doors, it's got that needle applicator where you can put one drop of oil wherever you want it. So all those squeaky doors you got in your house, you can take you a nail and a screwdriver and pull that hinge pin a little bit, put a couple drops of oil on it, drive it back in there. Things are real quiet. So if you got to slip out the back door to go fishing at your local pond at night, then that way it's quiet when you open that door and coming and going. So,
there you go. And we do need to talk to Lucas Oil team about the air fresheners, with the scented
we'll work on that
Slickness.
one.
We'll work on that one. Well, Billy, again, thank you very much. Look forward to catching up with you. We appreciate the time, and we look forward to catching up with you as well once you hit the trail again to see how things are going.
All right, Jay, can't thank you guys enough for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, Billy. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, man.
Bye.